In the last video, we have seen how to compare unlike fractions. In this video, we are going to add and subtract unlike fractions. The basic concept or idea of adding and subtracting unlike fractions is the same as that of comparing unlike fractions. So, for that, I'm going to share my presentation. First of all, we'll take a recall of adding and subtracting like fractions. What do I mean by like fractions? Like fractions are the fractions which are having same denominator. For example, 7 upon 11, 3 upon 11, 5 upon 11. They are like fractions. They are having same denominators. Now, for addition of like fractions, you can see that there are two circles which are having same size. They are divided into 5 equal parts. In the first circle, one part is shaded. In the second circle, two parts are shaded with the yellow color. Now, if I take both the shaded part on the same size circle, what fraction of that circle is shaded? So you can see that there is a one part from the 5 parts in the first, and there are 2 parts. So if I take this one part over here, if I overlap this will become total 3 parts out of 5 parts. Then we'll see one more example in which there is a square which is divided into 9 equal parts, and 2 parts are shaded with the blue. We'll take another square of the same size, which is also divided into 9 equal parts, and 4 parts are shaded with pink. Now, if I actually combine the shaded part of blue and pink, how many total amount of the square is shaded? Now, for that, what I'm going to do, I am going to take 2 parts from here, and then I'm going to put these 2 parts in this particular square. If I put these 2 parts in this particular square, this will totally become 6 equal parts. So 6 equal parts of the square are shaded. So 6 out of 9 parts are shaded. This is about addition of like fractions. We'll see one example of subtraction of like fraction. For example, there is a one square which is divided into 9 equal parts. 5 parts are shaded with a blue color, and I want to unshade 3 parts. I want to remove the shade from 3 parts. So if I remove the shade from 3 parts, 2 parts will remain. So there will be 2 parts shaded in a square out of 9 parts. We'll take an example of a pizza which is divided into 4 equal pieces. There are 3 equal pieces out of 4 pieces, and if I take 1 piece out of the 3 pieces, 2 pieces will remain. So 2 pieces out of 4 pieces will remain. So fraction will become 2 by 4, or we can say the fraction is equal to 1 by 2, or the half the pieces remain. Now, before going for addition and subtraction of unlike fractions, we'll recall a few terms which we have seen in the division chapter itself. So we'll see what is meant by multiples. Multiples are nothing but the numbers which are obtained by multiplying the even number with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For example, multiples of 12 are 12, 24, 36, and so on. So it's a multiplication table of a number. 5th multiple of 7 will be 35. 11th multiple of 12 will be 132. And now, if I write down the multiplication table of 7, and if I write down the multiplication table of 5, and if I take the common multiples from both the tables, you can see that 7's multiple are 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, and 42. And the multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 15, 25, 30, and 35, and 40. Now, if I take 35 from this as a common one, if I take, you can see that this 35 number is common for both, it's common in both multiplication table of 7 and 5, and is known as a common multiple. Now, if we find further, we'll find 35, 70, 105 are the common multiples of 7 and 5, but least or lowest one is the 35. We'll see next what is mean by LCM. We'll write down the multiplication table of 12, which is nothing but 12, 24, 36, 48, and 60, and 72. And if we write down the multiplication table of 9, 9, 18, 26, 7, 36, 45, 54, 63, and 72, you'll find that the common numbers from this table are, first is 36, the second one is 72, but which one is the smallest? The smallest or the least is 36 and is known as the least common multiple. Now, this is actually easy for finding out for composite numbers. But what about prime numbers? If both the numbers, they are prime numbers, then the least common multiple of these two numbers is nothing but multiplication of these two numbers. Now, if I take the least common multiple of one prime number and one composite number, so if one number is prime and another is composite number, in that case also the LCM will be the multiplication of both the given numbers. Next, we are having what does it mean by LCM, or how to find out the LCM. For finding out LCM, we will combiningly divide the given two numbers. For example, LCM of 12 and 14 will divide that by 2. the question will be 6 and 7, and LCM first. 12 and 14 is 2 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 7, that is 84. Now, why we are going to see this common multiple? It is being useful for adding the unlike fractions, and how it can be useful, we'll see in the next video. Till then, goodbye.